We continue in our studies from the seventh ray revealer of the New Age on part 3, the transition from a 6 to a 7 ray cycle, to give you a broader perspective of the current world situation and where we are heading towards, which will give you hope and a proper perspective of why things are as they are right now. So, and for that I would like to read the seventh ray of ceremonial order is coming into manifestation. The sixth ray of idealism or abstract vision is slowly passing out. The seventh ray will come into expression, that which was vision and that which constituted the ideals of the preceding cycle of the sixth ray. One ray prepares the way for another ray, and the reason for the manifestation of one ray of another is dependent upon the plan and divine purpose. It is not often that two rays follow each other in a regular numerical sequence such as is now happening. When this does happen, there eventuates a rapid following of effect upon cause, and this today can provide the basis of an assured hope. So the sixth ray influenced and served to attract man's mind towards an ideal such as that of individual sacrifice or service, and the mystical vision was the high watermark of the period. The seventh ray will in time produce the magician, but in this stage the magician will be predominantly in the class of white magic. The white magician works with the forces of nature and swings them back into control of advanced humanity. This can already be seen working out through the activity of the scientists, which the later end of the last century and this 20th century have produced. That much of their magical work has been turned into selfish channels by the tendency of this materialistic age, and that many of their wise and true discoveries in the realm of energy are today adept to ends which serve man's hatred or love or self is equally true. But this is no way. So when the motive is transmuted from pure scientific interest to love of the divine revelation, and when service to the race is the determining force, then we shall see true white magic. The most potent force in this world today is harmless. I speak not of non-resistant, but that positive attitude of mind which thinks no evil. He who thinks no evil, harms not, is a citizen of God's world. The following relation between the 6th and the 7th ray could be held clearly in mind, and students should grasp the relation of the immediate past to the immediate future and see in this relation the working out of God's plan and the coming salvation of the race. So, A. The 6th ray fosters the vision. The 7th ray will materialize that which was envisioned. B. The 6th ray produced the mystic and culminating type of aspirant. The 7th ray will develop the magician who works in the field of white magic. The sixth ray, as part of the evolutionary plan, led to separation, to nationalism and to sectarianism due to selective nature of the mind and its tendency to divide and separate. The seventh ray will lead to fusion and synthesis, for its energy is the type which blends spirit and matter. The sixth ray activity led to the formation of bands of disciples working in group but not in close relation and subject to internal dissension, pass on personality reaction. The seventh ray will train and send forth groups of initiates working in close unison with the plan and with each other. The sixth ray brought the sense of duality to humanity, which regards itself as a physical unit. Of this attitude of the academic materialistic psychologists are the exponents. The seventh ray will inaugurate the sense of a higher unity, which first that of the integrated personality for the masses, and secondly that of the fusion of soul and body for the world aspirants. If the sixth ray differentiates the aspect of the universal electrical energy, which we know as modern electricity, produced to serve man's materialistic needs. The seventh ray period will familiarize man with that type of electrical phenomena which produces the coordination of all forms. The sixth ray influence produced the emerge in man's mind of the following knowledge. First, a knowledge of physical plane, light and electricity. Second, among the esoteric and spiritualists of the world, knowledge of the existence of astral light. 3. An interest in illumination, both physical and mental. 4. Astrophysics and newer astronomical discoveries. The seventh ray will change the theories of the advanced thinkers of the race into facts of the future educational system. Education and the growth of the understanding of illumination in all fields will eventually be regarded as the synonymous ideals. The sixth ray taught the meaning of sacrifice, and of this teaching the crucifixion was outstanding embedded to initiates. Philanthropy was the expression of the same teaching to advanced humanity. The seventh ray will bring to the consciousness of the incoming initiates the coming of group service and sacrifice. This will inaudibly the age of divine service, the vision of giving of the individuals in sacrifice and service within the group and to the group ideas will be the goal of the masses of advanced thinkers in the new age, whilst for the rest of humanity brotherhood will be the keynote of their endeavor. These words have wider cognition and significance than the thinker of today can know and understand. The sixth ray promoted the growth of spirit of individualism. Group exists, but they are groups of individuals gathered around an individual. The seventh ray will foster the group spirit and the rhythm of the group, the objective of the group and the ritualistic working of the group will be the basic phenomena. The sixth ray influence conveyed to man the ability to recognize the historical crisis and to evolve the structure of the Christian faith, colored by a vision of a great Son of love, but qualified by an excessive militancy and separativeness based on a narrow idealism. The seventh ray will convey to men that the power to recognize the cosmic Christ and to produce that future scientific religion of light which will enable man to fulfill the command of the historical Christ to permit his light to shine forth. The sixth ray produced the great idealistic religion with their vision and their necessary narrowness, a narrowness that is needed to safeguard infant souls. The seventh ray will release the developed souls from nursery stage and inaccurate that scientific understanding of the divine purpose which will foster the coming religious synthesis. The effect of the sixth ray influence has been to foster the separative instinct, dogmatic religion, scientific, factual accuracy, schools of thought with their doctrinal barriers and exclusiveness, and the cult of patriotism. The seventh ray will prepare the way for the recognition of the vital issues which will materialize as the new world religion, which will emphasize unity but bar out uniformity. It will prepare for that scientific technique which will demonstrate the universal light that every form veils and hides, and for that internationalism which will express itself as practical brotherhood and as peace and goodwill between peoples. I could continue emphasizing this relation, but I have enumerated enough to show the beauty of the preparation made by the sixth great Lord of Idealism for the work of the seventh Lord of Ceremonial. So that has been so many beautiful points of vision, what is about to come and how things have been prepared by a sixth ray energy, but moving into a seventh ray energy, which is blending more together and brings more that universal light to every form, and the goodwill, right relationship, beauty and order on planet Earth, which is something of great hope. And that book I can just really recommend if you're interested in a deeper understanding of the world as it is and trying to see the world with the hope of the eyes for the future, that whatever destruction there is, it's to bring about the seventh ray energy to blend spirit and matter. And maybe just a few last words. The seventh ray is steadily gaining momentum and has for a long time been stimulating and enhancing the activity of all fifth ray nations. If you bear in mind that one major objective of the seventh ray energy is to bring together and to relate spirit and matter, and also substance and form. Notice this distinction. You can see for yourself that the work of science is closely connected with this endeavor, and that the creation of the new forms will be definitively be the result of working interaction between the rulers of the fifth, the second and the seventh ray, aided by the help on demand of the ruler of the first ray. A large number of seventh ray egos or souls, and also of men and women with seven ray personalities, are coming into incarnation now, and to them it's committed to the task of organizing the activities of the new era and ending the old methods of life and the old crystallized attitude to life, to death, to the leisure of the population. The result of the increasing flow of seventh ray energy plus the decreasing influence of sixth ray energy, which itself pronounced crystallization of the standardized accepted forms of belief, religious, social and philosophic, is drawn the millions of people who do not respond to either of the above influences through egoic or personal relation into a state of bewilderment. They feel entirely lost or gripped by the idea that life holds for them no desirable future that they have learned to cherish and to hold dear is rapidly falling. These three groups of people influenced by the sixth and seventh rays, or who are bewildered by the impact of forces generated by those rays, are those who must together, with understanding and clear vision, bring order out of the present chaos. They must materialize those new and desirable conditions which will confront to the subjective pattern in the minds of illuminated people of the world and the spiritual plan as it exists in the consciousness of the members of the hierarchy. The new age, which the particular civilization and culture will be brought into manifestation through collaboration and the well-intended, many responsive increasingly to the will of the whole and not the will of the individual. There are idealistic but practical thinkers influenced by the pattern of things to come and the world disciple impressed by the plans and under the instruction of the hierarchy. All changes in connection with the human family, with the fourth kingdom in nature, are always dependent on three factors. Those outer physical events are definitely acts of God, and over which no human being has the slightest authority. Second, the activity of human beings themselves working in a different way, but in a given time and in any particular period, conditioned by A, the predominance of egos to be found on any particular ray. They are very large number of second ray egos in incarnation today, and their work and their lives will facilitate the coming of the great approach. B, the nature and the quality of the predominant personality rays of the majority. At this time there is a vast number of souls whose incarnation, whose personality rays are of sixth or the third. They condition in the coming civilization outstandingly, including all educational and financial enterprise, just as the influence of those who have soul contact can express soul quality and determine the current culture and activity of the fifth principle, that of the mind. So there is still a lot more to be said, but I think we leave it for now to have a greater understanding what change will be coming, and actually having a bit of hope and a vision for the future that is all in God's divine plan, unfolding, happening, and we're being guided, and it's good to establish your roots in the material world and the world of spirit. So the world, God's plan or the hierarchy can have people who know about energy, and they may also have a scientific understanding, so that it can bring forth the change and more of the light of God on planet Earth. And with that, I wish you so much hope, so much goodness, and so much love. Take care.